live. How is everybody? We got Mr. Shane Tassoul trying to find internet in Appleton, Wisconsin. I think they just got internet there yesterday, and it's still a little glitchy. So if you're there, say hello. So how we doing out there, guys? Topic of today's show is our industry being brainwashed? Something to that effect, right? So how's everybody doing? Yeah, Wisconsin. Yeah, Mr. Weaver. They just got it, and Tass is trying to tap into it. So hopefully he'll be joining us shortly. Mr. Moore, Mr. Lockett, how are you? It's good to see everybody. How is September kicking off for everybody? Let's just see, because it's so early in the month, if it's not crushing it. So Mr. Johnson getting a message waiting for live video signal. Okay, hopefully everybody else can see or hear us or hear me. And we're waiting for Shane Tassoul to jump in here. So anyway, what I was saying is it's unfortunate. And I really wish I wish I knew how to get the attention of this part of the industry that is deep rooted in their culture, that feels like they don't want or they shouldn't professionalize their business. And that's one little topic. And we have a couple topics here about how we're brainwashed in this industry as a whole. But the majority of our industry is brainwashed that if you make money teaching martial arts, you're somehow a sellout. And that's just one topic I want to hit on. But why? The question is why does our industry think that? And by the way, if you are in the successful category and you're somebody who wants to grow your business and provide a great service to your students and great quality martial arts instruction, it affects you as much as it affects this other part of the industry. And I talked a little bit about this before, that I couldn't open a school in this plaza that I was just trying to open a month ago. They denied it because they have a covenant, a restriction, that they will not allow a martial arts school to open up. And this is a high-end center. Oh, by the way, I'm being asked if you guys can see me. Can you guys see me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can see me. I don't know if we're having issues all over the place. It's probably better if you didn't see me. That'd be better for you guys, I think, right? But give me a thumbs up if you can see me. And I know we're on a delay. But anyway, but why is it that they restrict a martial arts school from going in there? It's because of the mentality of the overall industry. It's the mentality of I don't think it's right, or I don't think it's important to make money teaching martial arts. Well, because of that, a lot of our schools, a lot of our industry goes out of business. A lot of our industry gets behind on rents. And therefore, when that happens to big centers, REITs, like that own shopping centers all over the nation, they eventually put in, they don't want to deal with martial arts schools. So if you are a successful school, we should take it upon ourselves to try to reverse that train of thought for the huge group of martial arts schools that feel making money is bad, that knock it down. And by the way, we all have friends in the industry, right? So you have friends in the industry, and I'm sure all of you know some people, whether it's from tournaments or just growing up in the martial arts, that have that mentality where they're not willing or wanting to grow. Now, I believe everybody wants to grow, and I believe everyone makes excuses when they're not growing, and that's what happens. Okay. So yes, and the topic today is our industry being brainwashed, and the brainwashing. Who's brainwashing our industry? Well, our industry is brainwashing our industry. Who heard the term of McDojo before our industry came up with it, right? It's our industry. So we brainwash ourselves that, and again, the small minority of us that want to make money in the martial arts and provide a great service, you don't understand how prevalent this is in our industry as far as people that have brainwashed themselves that, no, you can't charge that much money. You can't make money. We've convinced ourselves as an industry that it's not good to do that. And that's one of the things that's a misconception. It's wrong. It's backwards thinking. And if you don't want to make money in the industry, go teach out of your garage for free, or go teach in a field for free. But we got to change that mindset as an industry. That's number one, right? Here's something that I want to make sure that you guys understand. If you are a business owner, there's two things you need to do. You need to provide a quality service to your customer and produce a profit. You need to do both of those. If you get a profit and you don't provide quality service, you will eventually die. Your business will eventually die. Okay? If you're producing a service and not quality, if you're producing a profit and not quality service, eventually it's going to end at some point, right? If you're producing a high quality service, but you're not producing a profit, your business will eventually die. Both of those scenarios hurts our industry, and we need to recognize that. It's very, very, very important. Okay. Next, here's another thing that we brainwashed ourselves in this industry. Okay. And you are correct, sir. We are our own worst enemy. It's our own industry that dogs our own industry. I mean, is that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard of? I mean, it's our own industry. How's our boy doing here? I got the text here trying to get Tassoul on. But anyway, but here's the next thing. Now pay attention to this before you just click off, because this is a brainwashing thing in our industry as well. Upgrades are bad. You should not upgrade students and charge more money. You should treat every student first class. You should not charge more money for more services, right? You should not do that. That is the brainwashing that's going on in the industry as well. And it's because they don't understand how to upgrade people properly. And also they force people in their school to upgrade, which they should not do. Okay. And you've heard me say this a million times, right? But whether it's going to a hotel, whether it's flying on an airline, can you imagine if every time you went to a hotel, when you went to check in, they forced you to pay more money, because they then tell you You have to stay in the suite because it's Tuesday. Well, that's nickel and diming. That would be wrong. Imagine if you were flying somewhere and you get to the airline, you bought your ticket, but when you're getting on, they say, look, we're going to charge you an extra $250 or $1,000 because we upgraded you. If you want to go on this flight, you got to upgrade to first class. That would be wrong. Same thing in our industry. However, the two examples I just mentioned have upgrades. They do have upgrades, but they do not force it on their customers. Why is it in our industry that the majority of our industry, by the way, and again, if you live in the small bubble, you don't understand this, say upgrades are bad? Why would they be bad if I have a service that I can offer, a value, an additional value to what my customers paid for? For example, my customer comes in, they sign up for Taekwondo lessons, karate lessons, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu lessons. That's what they signed up for. That's what they're paying for. That is what I'm going to give them, all the way to black belt and beyond. But why is it bad to charge them an extra $25 a month if they want to get some of these other services? Why is that bad to give them an option? And by the way, why should I give it to them for free? Is there not a value to additional services that I offer above and beyond what the required curriculum is? Is there not a value? And by the way, do you think the value might be more than $25 a month? I'm using this as an example. Please understand the concept. But what if I hired a gymnast to come in every Saturday to teach basic gymnastic skills just to up the level of coordination and strength and balance for my students? And for $25 more a month, you could take that class every Saturday. Is that a value to a customer if they wanted that for their child, as opposed to coming and bringing their child to martial arts and paying $100 a month or $150 or $200 or whatever your fee is, but also having to go join the gymnastics school down the street and pay $150 a month? For $25 more, you could just do it with us. That's an option. You don't have to, but if you'd like to get that extra training, you can. Why would that be wrong? Well, I'm going to answer that for you. It wouldn't be wrong, right? You're going to know how to generate more revenue in your business by offering options to your clients. Now, let me just look and see where we are. I knew you. Let's see, Mr. Kevin here. I know, and you know, a large franchise owner with multiple schools who tells his franchisees, don't expect to make money in this industry. Yeah, that's not a great selling point. People are afraid to sell. They don't know how, and a lot of them don't believe in what they're selling, don't believe in their value. Here's the problem with the industry on that. Okay, Tass is not going to be on. You want to sit here and banter with me, Perry, or you want to go eat? Okay, I got it.
I'll be back.
Hey, guys, stay with me. I'm lonely here, so please. Tass couldn't get on just because of his internet issues, I guess. Anyway, here's the thing, though. What I think is it's not about people believing in their value, right? It is that. It is that. People are so afraid to charge because they feel they will lose their students, because either they know they're not providing enough value, right? Or they're afraid that people will leave them, or they think this is the way to keep my students. I'm going to give them all this stuff, everything, because I believe that's I'm just doing that because that's going to keep them here longer. But there's a value to this stuff that you offer. There should be some type of value, okay? Now, here's the next thing. When someone enrolls in your school, here's a big one, everybody. I'm sure you've heard this, and I'm sure a lot of you on here do this. When someone enrolls in your school, when you enroll, you're getting your uniform, you're getting your t-shirt, you're getting the welcome pack, and you get all that for free. Why would we give that away for free? Why would you give it away for free? Well, what you're going to say, some of you, is, well, we have a registration fee, and it includes that. Why? If you want a registration fee, have a registration fee. But there's a value to the equipment, right? Because if they, in 6 months from now, want to buy another uniform and t-shirt, do they get it for free again, or is there a value to it? Do they have to buy it? The reason a lot of us give it away for free is because we think that is what if we charge them for a uniform or a t-shirt or a welcome kit or whatever, they won't sign up for martial arts all of a sudden. You're brainwashed to believe that. You're afraid to do it because of value. Now, I don't believe in registration fees, by the way. I don't like registration fees. Okay. I do not like enrollment fees. What I would suggest that you guys do, and as an industry, is charge what you feel the education of martial arts is worth. How much is it worth to get the knowledge and the education? I've said this before. If I go to college and I want to get an education and I enroll in classes, there is a fee for those classes. But if I need books for those classes, it is not included. I have to go buy the books for those classes. Okay. If I join Little League, there is a fee to join the Little League team. There is also a fee to go buy a glove and a bat and a ball. Why is it that in our industry, we give it all away for free? I would love to get some of the answers here on why either you do that or why you feel that a lot of us in the industry do that. Why do we give merchandise away for free when you are in business to make a profit? Just provide a quality service to your customers. And if you can do both, you're winning. You're winning. But don't force it. I don't sign someone up at my school and as soon as they sign on the dotted line, then say, okay, now you got to buy this. We don't do that. We tell everybody before they even enroll, here are the costs that you're going to incur when your child or yourself is training in martial arts. Be upfront and honest with your customers, but explain to them the why. I mean, I think everybody outside of this industry would understand why they would have to buy apparel. I don't know any store in the world where when you just come in to shop there, they bring you the free shirt, right? I don't know why our industry does that, right? And Mr. Stewart says, it's the way it's always been done and afraid to change. It's a mindset, everybody. And I said this at the beginning, if you weren't here on the beginning, that if you are a successful school owner, right? And what I mean by successful is you're making a profit, you're providing a quality service to your customers, right? It benefits us to make sure that we raise the standard in the industry. And the question is how do we get through to this large group of people in our industry that just don't believe in making money by teaching martial arts? That's a problem because these are the people that eventually go out of business or default on their loans or default on their rents. And it only hurts us because we're all in the same industry. I just think it's an understanding. Okay. Yeah, there you go, Mr. Weaver. Martial artists like to save the world one free uniform at a time. Listen, I don't want this to come out negatively when I tell you should charge for uniforms and t-shirts, but every student you enroll, you're going to lose money on. But in your own mind, you're saying, well, I don't lose money because I charge a registration fee. But you are, because you could charge a down payment on your program if you come up with a fee for the education they're going to get. This is why, everybody, I really recommend that you sell programs. And I don't care if it's a 3-month starter martial arts program or it's a 1-year beginner program. I don't care what it is, but you should sell programs, not memberships, not a gym membership where I can't tell you what you're going to get for this fee. I can't tell you this specific month, this is what you're getting this month for your $100 or your $150. But what I can do is I could put together a 3-month starter martial arts program and say, this is going to give you basic knowledge of self-defense, basic understanding of what the martial arts is going to be like. I mean, come up with something. And for this beginner program, it's $400. That's how much it costs. So if you want to put $100 down and make 3 payments of $100, well, that's $400. You just purchased this program. You bought it, right? If you don't want to put anything down, well, then it's $133 a month because it's nothing down, but it's $133, which is $400, right? But if I do that and I get a $100 down payment, it's just a down payment on the program. I could still charge you for the uniform. or the t-shirt or whatever equipment you're going to need to complete this program. But you also have an understanding of what you're going to get for that $400. This is what you should get in the first 3 months of your training, or 6 or 9 or 12 or whatever. This is why I also believe when people say, well, contracts are bad. I mean, we have brainwashed ourselves that contracts are bad in this industry. If you go month to month, by the way, here's some of the stuff I've heard where our industry has brainwashed our industry saying, well, I don't do contracts because we provide great service. And if our customer doesn't want to be here, then we don't let them, then they don't need to be here, this, that, and the other. That makes sense, right? So now I can jump on the bandwagon. That makes sense. I got to treat, if I provide a good enough service, my customers will stay. Well, number one, whether you have contracts, okay, and I use that term in a negative way, right? Contracts, I want it to sound negative and scary for the purpose of this conversation. But I would second guess myself. By the way, I did second guess myself 20 years ago. I got rid of contracts. I had contracts, I got rid of contracts, then I went back to contracts. And I never went back again because of experience. Because I didn't want to sell a contract selling a membership where I just lock people in indefinitely. I wanted to sell a specific program with a specific time period and get my customers to understand what they're buying. And if it's a 3-month program or a 6-month program or a 12-month program, that's what you're purchasing, Mrs. Johnson. And understand, once you buy it, it's yours. So if you bought a 12-month program, you will get 12 months of martial arts lessons. And here's what you're going to learn in those 12 months. And if you want to come 1 month a year for the next 12 years, that's up to you. You're not going to advance that way, but you're getting 12 months of martial arts lessons. And this is what's going to be covered over those 12 months in this beginner program, right? So now you're financing a program, number one. Number two, why can't I do that and still provide great quality service? Well, of course you can. I'm going to provide great service. When we have students that pay in full, pay in advance for their program, we don't forget them. If I don't see them in class for a week, we're on the phone calling them. We don't just get their money and be like, oh, we don't need to call them. They already paid in full for a year. We don't do that. We want to call them. We want to get them in for a private lesson. And number three, here's the biggest one, everybody. Here's the big one. The big one is you have to understand that your customers, the majority of your customers, have no idea what it's going to be like the day they or their child gets a black belt wrapped around their waist. They don't understand that accomplishment until they accomplish it. But guess who does understand it? You understand it. Not only from a personal experience, but also from seeing all these lives that you've changed. How many people did you have that got their black belt and were depressed that they got their black belt or were upset? Have you ever seen a parent or a student break down in tears the day they got their black belt, all the hard work, all the times they wanted to quit, right? So when you sell a program, it's easier to try to motivate and get your customer to stay. However, we don't send people to collections. If somebody disappeared and stopped paying, they disappeared and stopped paying. But the majority of people honor their commitments, especially when you're upfront and honest with them that they are purchasing a program for this price and they decided to finance it over X amount of months. And they also understand that you got to make those payments, but you never lose your time. You're going to get what you paid for. And do we agree as adults? Do we agree? I'm going to be here to provide that time, and you agree you're going to pay for that time. Do we agree initial? And so you understand. Okay. Again, total transparency up front. But it's easy for somebody to quit when they're month to month because the parent, especially if you work with kids, a lot of parents view you as just, my kid came home and said he wants to do karate. He saw a flyer, he saw a movie, he saw this, he saw that. He's been bugging me. He wants to do karate. Now listen to what I'm saying. The same way that child is bugging their parent to do karate or martial arts or Brazilian jiu-jitsu is the same way that child's going to bug their parent that they don't want to go to class in 3 months. And what's the parent going to do? He's been bugging me. He doesn't want to go. It's been giving me a hard time. We're going to quit, right? Because the parent still doesn't understand the entire value of what they got their child enrolled in. And it's our job to paint that picture and get them through those humps, because most people on their journey to black belt will want to quit someday. So let me give you this piece of advice real quick, and then I'll see if there's questions here. Let me give you this piece of advice. If you want to sell a term, whether again, it's 3, 6, 12, 3 years, whatever it is, if a student or a parent, when they're getting ready to enroll, says, "Ooh, I don't know if I want to sign up for a year. What if he wants to quit, in 6 months?" Here's my advice to you. You don't argue with them. You say, "Well, if your child is normal, Mrs. Johnson, there will come a time where he's not going to want to come to class and say he wants to quit. Do you have any other questions, Mrs. Johnson?" And when you do what I just did, you're going to get a blank stare or a smile from them because they don't know what to say. You just agreed with them. And I do that for effect. And I wait to see what their response is, right? And then I say, and they might say, "Well, exactly. That's why I don't want to sign up for a year." And say, "Listen, because we both know that happens. By the way, it happens to you, Mrs. Johnson, when you go to work every day. There's mornings you wake up, you don't feel like going, but what makes you go? You have an obligation. It's responsibility. It's discipline. It's basically what you told me you want for your child. So what I'm asking you, Mrs. Johnson, is when your child says they don't want to go, there's a couple things I want you to understand. Number one, it's not that they want to quit martial arts. It's they don't want to stop doing what they're doing at home to get to martial arts. I promise you, if you just get Johnny to the class, he's going to be fine and he's not going to want to leave until after class. He'll be fine. Number one. Number two, the only reason your child is here is because it's fun. So understand that that is our job, to make sure they are having fun. And we're going to do different things in class to make sure they have fun. We're going to disguise things. We're going to have martial arts games that we're going to play to disguise the training to get what you told me you want for your child. When I asked you, what would you like to see your child get out of the program? You didn't tell me, "I just want him to have fun." You told me you want to see him get focus or confidence or discipline or respect. Mrs. Johnson, how serious are you about wanting your child to get those life skills? And then let them speak and say, then the next question is how long do you think that will take to get them to where you want them to be completely confident? How long do you think it'll take? And I will wait for a response. And then what I will do is I'll say, the third rule, Mrs. Johnson, is there's a difference between forcing your child to come and motivating your child to come. So when they say they don't want to go, don't panic and say, "You signed up for this, you're going, that's it, you wanted to do it, get your stuff, we're going," because then it will become a subconscious battle where your child instinctively will say, "No, I don't want to go." And you're going to say, "Yes, you're going." And they're going to say, "No, I'm not." And now it's a battle. Now the child's convinced themselves that they just don't want to go. And it's because you're trying to force them to go. So when it happens, you call us. And because we work with hundreds and hundreds of students, we train on how to motivate kids and adults to get through that slump and get them back on track. So just call us up. We're going to set up a little mini private lesson. We're going to do a mat chat. We're going to pull them over to the side. And we're going to give them some things to work on, motivate them, a little stripe and encouragement, because we all hit these slumps. That is how we overcome this stuff. But also what helps is the fact that they bought a term, again, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever. And then at the end of that, I would say to the parent, "Would you be willing to give us 12 months of your child's life to show you how we can change your child's life forever? Would you give me 12 months to try that? Would you be willing to give us a shot?" And when you present that right, and when you ask the right questions, parents are willing to give you a shot. But this is where it comes in, that you got to provide a quality service, and it's okay to make a profit. You got to do both. but you got to back up what you promised. If you don't, you will die. Your reputation will be bad, right? Now, let's just see. Right. Martial arts school owners need to ask themselves, how much did they pay to get the knowledge they have? Then after answering honestly, look at their pricing. We don't include anything for free when a person signs up. What is your thoughts if you offer both contract and month to month? That's a great question, right? So I don't mind if here's the problem, everybody. If you understand the two principles of providing a quality service and you got to make a profit, most of you, if you're in a commercial space, you made a commitment by signing a lease. Most of you, right? I need a commitment from my students because I'm not only committing to the landlord, I'm committing to the community that I'm going to back up what I say, I'm going to deliver what I promise, and I'm going to provide quality service. No matter how good any of you are on watching this, you can't change an adult or child's life in 3 months. You cannot do it. You're not going to change their life in 3 months. I don't think you're going to change their life in a year, right? Because if you're working with an 8-year-old and he did karate from 8 to 9, and now that guy's 30 years old, I just don't think that 8 years old to 9-year-old, you change their life, you know? Now, can you alter it a little bit? Can you have done something to motivate him? Sure. But if you were really good at motivating him, he would still be with you, or that student would have stayed longer, right? So I need a commitment from the community. However, if somebody's not sure, I don't think it's wrong if you want to offer a month-to-month price, but it's at a premium if you want to go month-to-month. But by the way, I don't show that to people. But if you wanted to do that, you can. But here's the thing, Mr. Morris. If when I was in the school, I did not offer that. I only offered a program that was tied to a term. If you know how to ask questions and the parent really understands that you're an educational facility, it shouldn't be difficult to get them to commit to 3, 6, or 12 or whatever it is. Now, I also don't think I see a lot of schools that do this. Well, we offer a 3-month program for this much, a 6-month for this much, a 12-month for this much. We don't do that either. We sell a beginner program, it's 12 months. I need 12 months to really show you how we're going to change the rest of your life. And by the way, Mrs. Johnson, if every one of our students quit at 12 months because we weren't changing their life, we would be out of business. If every student came in and they just fulfilled their 12 months and left, but they don't, they stay. And Mrs. Johnson, I want to ask you if you can give us 12 months and commit and work together. We're going to work together to give your child, or to give you, right? If you're here to get in shape or learn self-defense, because in that year, in that 12 months, you will see how this is going to change your life if you stay in martial arts, and how beneficial and the value it is of being in martial arts. Are you willing to give yourself, not me, are you willing to give yourself 12 months? That's what we do. We don't have a problem. But I also, if you wanted to have a month-to-month price at a premium because there's no commitment and you don't know if that person's here today, gone tomorrow, I mean, you can do that. And I know there's people on here probably not chiming in that totally disagrees with terms, but I think it's because of their thinking. And by the way, I've done both. So I think I have a right to speak on it. I've done both, right? I know what's better, not just for my one school, but for the 98 licenses of CMA schools around the country. I mean, we do that, and not to mention that, and the hundreds and hundreds of elite clients that we have. We know what works better more consistently. So here's the other way to brainwash. Somebody, there could be an individual that will say, well, I'm doing $100,000 a month and I don't have contracts. That's awesome. But you're not showing me consistency from the guy in Kansas to the guy in Pennsylvania to the guy in Maryland to the guy in Australia, everywhere where they're all doing $100,000 a month doing that, right? We need a system to make things more efficient and easier, but where you're not duping your clients, okay? And Mr. Blackman says the same thing. We're providing, we're not selling a membership, we're providing a program. You're selling a tangible program. Okay, the next thing, here's another one. You should not be charging testing fees. You should not be doing that. because you're nickel and diming your students. What kind of family every so many months wants to have to pay another fee to get tested? Well, I was brainwashed to believe that, so I got rid of testing fees until I brought them back, right? And here's why I brought them back, all right? I brought testing fees back. Honest to goodness, I charged testing fees. I got rid of them because I talked to somebody in the industry, right? And they made a good point. They made good points, just like I just made a point, right? You should not charge them. That's nickel and diming your people. It's wrong. It's this, it's that. It got to the point where every time I would have a testing, I would literally be depressed and unmotivated because at the time, okay, 20 some years, 25 years ago, when I brought them, when I wasn't charging testing fees 25 years ago, I didn't have full-time salaried employees. I had hourly employees, part-timers, assistants, and an hourly person that would help me in the office. But when testing would come up, all hands had to be on deck. You were required, all the instructors, the hourly people, they needed to be at the school. We needed to prep. They needed to stay for the testing late at night. I needed my office girl to come in early. I needed her to go to Office Max and buy certificate paper. I needed her to come in the office and make the certificates. I needed to order belts and get the belt orders in. And every time we had a testing, I felt like I lost money. At that month, I was losing so much money. Payroll was going up. I was buying belts. I was buying certificate paper. I hated it. And I said to myself, I think I can still charge what I charge and charge testing fees. I just need to let people know when they enroll that there are extra costs they're going to incur. And I explained to parents when they enrolled, hey, before you enroll, I want to let you know that when you test or your child tests or graduates to the next belt, there's a $40 fee. Now, I'm not charging $80 and $90. And if you are, great, but I'm not. I'm charging $40. And I say, look, there's a $40 fee. But that includes all their testings every month on their part, on the way we break up our curriculum. They're tested every month on part of their curriculum. So that's included. The graduation ceremony is included. When we cancel classes and have graduation, their certificate is included. Their belt is included. All of that is included. And by the way, Mrs. Johnson, if for some reason your child does not pass the test, you do not pay. But are you okay and understand that there is a $40 fee and that covers all of those expenses? Yes, I understand. Good. Just initial that we went over it, you understand. Do you know how many problems I have with testing fees today with all these schools? 0 problems. 0. By the way, I don't know what the stat is today, but I can tell you 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I don't remember how many years ago, but I actually added it up, that our business, our company brought in $240,000 in a year just from testing fees. When that was revenue I was not getting, but had all these expenses that we were incurring. It's okay, everybody. It's okay, because I don't get belts for free. I don't get all these volunteers that want to start making certificates for me. Office Max didn't donate their certificate paper back then at the time when I was buying that stuff. I needed to cover costs and provide a service and make a profit, right? But again, our industry will convince ourselves that you should just up your tuition and include everything. No, you shouldn't. Go back to what I talked about earlier. What is your education valued at? Your knowledge, your instruction. Put a price on it and put it away. If you think it's worth $40 a month, charge $40 a month. But put a price on it. But the uniforms have a price. You can go on any site. There's a price. There's a value to a uniform. There's a value to a t-shirt. There's a value to belt certificates. And there's a value to having a celebration and having all your staff together and making this big extravaganza with demos and everything else to celebrate people going to their next rank. There's a value to that. Keep it all separated. Just be honest with everybody before they enroll in your school. What do you charge for testing fees? How long is your test? $40. We charge $40. Okay. I mean, $40. And I think my guys may correct me. I think we charge $299 for black belt However, that includes a training black belt, that includes an embroidered black belt, that includes a Muay Thai pad, the black belt t-shirt. There's other things, a bunch of equipment that includes all of this stuff together, but it's broken out separately, right? But at black belt, that's included plus 6 months. It's a 6-month test. The $40 includes a test every single month. It's a stripe test every month on part of their curriculum. The graduation ceremony. The graduation ceremony is, 45 minutes. The testing is the week before. And once you pass your final phase, you can come to the graduation. I could do a whole thing on that. But the thing is that's the value of the test for $40. I mean, and then they present certificates, their belts, the whole thing. We average 5,000 5 times a year for testing allowance to add a full-time employee, right? Which I think brings a better service when you have more people. Would it be better to calling it an advancement fee as opposed to a testing fee? It could be a graduation fee, an advancement fee. As long as you explain the definition of what you're charging, I don't think it's a problem. At the end of the day, guys, let's do this. Last thing I want to bring up, two last points, okay? Here's another thing in this industry. And again, call your friends, talk to other people, but the other thing in this industry is consultants, right? Oh, I don't want to watch this show because they're just trying to sell me on consulting. Or all these consultants are making money off of school owners because they don't know how to make money in their own schools, right? That's true for some consultants in the industry. That is true, right? The problem is we will justify it in our mind that that's all consultants, right? The other thing is if somebody owns a consulting company, right, they should be marketing and trying to sell you their consultant services. That's okay. They should. But don't shut them off because they're trying to sell you a service. Do yourself a favor and just give them a chance and hear what they have to say. They might just change your life. They may just change your life. I know with MAIA, I know we can change all of your lives. I know that. But every consultant should say that. But you should do yourself a favor and listen and hear us out. Hear everybody out. Instead of just saying, oh, all they want to do is take my money. That's correct. I want to take your money and make you 20 times that. I mean, I do, because it's a business. We do want to make money in consulting. MAIA does, right? I mean, I don't own the consulting company. I don't own it. I'm just trying to give back. I work for MAIA. You join MAIA, you join our elite program. I don't make any money. Zero. I don't make a bonus. I don't get a commission. I don't get anything. I don't do that. I don't get it. So if everyone on here who's not a MAIA elite client decided to call me this afternoon and just say, okay, Metzger, what do you tell me? How are you going to help my school? I'm going to ask you questions. And if 20 of you enrolled in MAIA elite today, I would make zero. I will not get paid later for it. I will not get paid now for it. So I can be extra genuine with you guys, right? But it's okay if somebody is making money. It's okay as long as they can give you what you want. Are you familiar with Zig Ziglar? You can have anything in life that you want as long as you help other people get what they want. It's the same principle, right? But stop brainwashing yourselves in this industry that consultants are bad and they just want to get your money. Well, hear them out. Some of them may want to just get your money and they don't provide a quality service, I'm sure, because that's in every industry in the world. Every industry. There's good and there's bad. Every industry. I just know we're good, right? I know we can help you. And I also know there's other consultants out there that can help you. And then the last part, for those of you who don't believe that and believe that consultants, are there, my question is why aren't you with a consultant then, right? And here's why. It's the last point. I made a note. Because you're doing good enough. You're doing good enough. That is the most dangerous place to be. Doing good enough is even more dangerous than when you're not doing well at all. Because when you're not doing well at all, a lot of times that sparks a fire and you're hungry and you're working until you can get your bills met and your needs met. You're making enough to survive, but you don't make enough to provide careers for other people. You may make enough to provide a job for other people, right? You can hire someone for $10 an hour, $12 an hour, 20 grand a year. So you're okay. You feel like you're okay. We will never teach you to be good enough, ever. That's not what we're about. That's not what MAIA is. We're going to teach you to be the best that you possibly can be, right? Not good enough. When we're good enough, we don't take action anymore. We justify. We don't need to. I don't need to listen to those guys. We're doing fine. Well, we don't like doing fine. We like doing exceptional. We like being the top 0.5% of the industry. And that's what all of you should strive to. You should strive for that. However, it takes courage. Do you know the definition of an entrepreneur, right? Are you a risk taker? So are you a true entrepreneur, or are you just a martial arts school owner? Because that's two different things. Be better. Do the best that you possibly can, and don't be afraid of it. And by the way, we know how to do that. We know how to get you there, but you'll justify why you don't need to do it because you're doing fine. Okay. Yes, Mr. Blackman. Yes. Thank you for quoting me on that. It's tougher to stay on top than to get there. That's absolutely correct. It's easier to get you to the top 1% of this industry than it is to stay there. So what do we do to combat that? Our goal is not to ever stay there. Our goal is to consistently and constantly grow to provide careers. I don't know if any of you saw the ads. We put ads out. It's so funny how this industry, listen, last thing, and I'm going to leave you with this. Championship Martial Arts here in Orlando, Florida, put an ad out that said, how would you like to make $100,000 a year teaching martial arts? You know what the first comment was? This is a total scam. That was the first comment. What kind of thinking would somebody say this is a total scam? First of all, it's a question. Would you like to make $100,000 a year teaching martial arts? It's yes or no, but it was a job ad for us. You can make 100 grand a year working for us here in Orlando. I don't even know how to respond to this guy who doesn't even know us that just made the statement, this is a scam. But this is the mindset of the industry. This is the problem with the industry. How would this guy know that this is a scam? First of all, it's not a scam, but why would he even say it is? Because he's justifying, because he probably owns his own school and he's not even making 100 grand. He's probably not even making 30. So it makes me feel better to just put out there, this is a scam. You know, that's a scam. Nobody's doing that. Well, he would be wrong. Not only can you make 100,000 a year teaching martial arts for us, but you can have a retirement plan where we match, health benefits, you know, a vacation package. I mean, the whole gamut. But that's called being a professional business. That's where you really change people's lives. Take a student, change their life in the martial arts. Once they're there, show them how they can be have a career in the martial arts and change other lives while you're changing their life from the martial arts. Just like all of you watching this, your life is drastically different today than if you never did martial arts, right? But we got to change the mindset, guys. We got to, and by the way, look, we're soliciting. I didn't do this. I'm not typing. This is funny. Set up a call with Metzger here. Yeah, set up a call. There you go. Okay. Mr. Lewis, your systems are great. We're glad to be part of the team. We're learning every day. Listen, we're just one. We're just one, but we have so much experience. There are other consultants out there. I am just pleading that our industry can take a step back, put your guard down, and even if you are a 10th degree master in some system, understand that other people can help you, even if they're not 10th degree masters. Okay. And by the way, all of us on the MAIA team are martial artists, black belts. We have our trophies too from competing. I mean, I started martial arts in the early 80s, right? And train every day. I trained this morning. I mean, but we have these egos where we're not going to let somebody else tell us how to run our school. We're not going to tell you how to teach your system necessarily. We're going to tell you how to set up your business to be systemized, more efficient, to where you can do three things. recruit new students better, retain them better, and generate revenue better. That's what we will teach you how to do. And we're also 3 things in MAIA. And someone will steal this, I'm sure. I'm sure you'll see this on another consultant's page probably, but we're 3 things. We're educators, we're motivators, and we're coaches. We got to educate you and teach you all of the systems. We got to motivate you to execute and do the job. And sometimes you're going to hit a slump just like a student does. We need to kick you in the ass and get you back on track. I mean, and that's what we do. And we know how to do it. So I'm pleading to help all of you here, help the industry get to a better place and more professional in the eyes of people outside of our industry. Stop bashing the industry. Stop worrying about everybody else as far as like if they're making money and you don't even know these people, you've never taken a class, and yet we'll call them names. They're a belt factory. They're this, they're that. Knock it off. It's just ignorance. Build everybody up. Invite people on here, because if nothing else, in 45 minutes to an hour, maybe there's one thing somebody will get out of this that will professionalize them just a little bit more. And reach out and talk to some consultant companies. Just hear them out. You don't have to sign up for anything. Hear them out. But if you think they have some good points and you think that they really can help you, jump on board. Give it a try. It could change your life. Just like you tell a parent to tell a student, join my school. So with that, I appreciate it, guys. Tass, you were deeply missed. Sorry you couldn't get on. I missed you. Let's give a moment of silence for Tass. That's about it. Thank you guys so much for joining, and always keep a sense of humor. Keep things light, guys. We'll talk to everyone next week. Thanks for joining.